Don't threaten me with a good time. You know the law library, I call it the candy store. That's where all the goodies are at. One of the first things I did when I finished um, writing our Constitution and going through the ratification process, um, I spent an inordinate amount of time dealing with matters for um, international trade perspective for us because I knew um, we had at that point close to 100 Earth years since the work of Marcus Mosiah Garvey getting melanated folks back to sea as a power on this side of the ocean. He had the right ideas, I always say, didn't know how to do particular things, and was surrounded by folks that didn't know what to do. And so he got himself into a mail fraud scenario because he didn't know what he was doing. And as I always say, mail fraud is the golden BB with the power of the golden bullet when you know how to use it. Hard reality. So I made it a point, all right, to figure out how to get back to sea, look at what he did, figure out where he went wrong, fix it so we don't make the same mistakes. And not just that, go way beyond that. Do the homework, get the hands dirty. So I spent a fair amount of time looking at things as I regularly do. However, I spent an inordinate amount of time being able to get us back to sea as a folk. Because I knew the time would come when we would have to start training the Imperial Merchant Marines, the ICF agents afloat, and the Imperial Ambassadorship. It wasn't just about provisioning a ship and how to sail it. It was way more than that. And for our commerce and trade, it is imperative that we know how to do it and actually do it. So, there are those that speak about the ancestor Noble Drew Ali from the Moorish. The Moorish speak about that ancestor, and one of the things that he spoke about, apparently in what they call his oral statements, the Moors were a seafaring folk that fed the planet. The time would come when the Moors would do it again. Well, we have a 17,000-page curriculum for the Imperial Maritime Academy to train our Imperial Merchant Marines, the able seamen, not just the ordinary seamen, the deck officers, and everybody else, the stevedores. What everyone's role is aboard ship and on the docks. Within the Amexem-Moor-Empire Department for Trade, Travel, and Transport, the Imperial Maritime Agency has one side of that equation, Sea Department has the other. Knowing how to deal with libel at sea, knowing how to deal with libel for court action, what a proper inquiry looks like, and all these things from the Amexem-Moor-Empire Imperial Government perspective, how we do it. I had to write it all myself, which means I had to go learn it all and get it in. And we have this now. And so we've been training the Imperial Merchant Marines because you do not wait to have a vessel in the water to learn how to do any of that. And if she's going to sail with a crew from us, the vessel has to have an ICF agent afloat. They make sure ship, cargo, and crew are within the rigors of the Amexem-Moor-Empire law form. Ita lex scripta est, ex rigore juris. They must be trained in extraterritoriality and so many other things. I give thanks that we have gotten as far as we have with our training. Before the global lockdowns messed with everyone's finances, including ours, because our trade suffered like everybody else's, the fundraising for us to get a vessel and get her in the water, for us to get back to sea, has slowed. Everyone knows that. Not stopped, slowed. We as a folk are going back to sea. And we are marrying old sea tech with modern propulsion systems. Again, as I always say, it's not just Moors in Spain and Moors after Spain and Golden Age of the Moors. It's also golden trade of the Moors. Got to read the book. We sailed a vessel called the Dhow. Yes, everyone knows about our corsairs. Most don't talk about the Dhows because they were strictly commercial, and there were multiple classes of them. No, two. In the modern era, though, they're building dhows well over 100 feet long. 200 feet, as a matter of fact, you can get one 20 feet long. I was surprised to learn this in a very pleasant way. The distinction between what was built then and what we're looking to do now, the inboard motors will be of a different design, my design. Won't be using diesel fuel, electric motors. Should have redundant operations aboard for other things to maintain systems aboard ship. So the main power plants is twin power plants. They can focus on turning the propeller for us to have good speed. I'm not saying we're going to be out there doing 100 knots or anything. That's not what I mean. What I am saying, though, because there's so much traffic out there in the sea lanes, a lot of ships out there, a lot of trawlers, and a lot of private craft out there. It's crowded waters. So even if you could design something that could do 100 plus knots, there's no room to do it. Still, I look forward to having our ability to sell what we produce in-house to both sides of the empire, but also to those who acquire product from within our global common market.